Hello and welcome again to my podcast. I don't know what number of episode this is going to be because right now I have only uploaded the first one, but moving on, this is probably not the second one. I've been wanting to talk about something that's been sitting on my chest pretty heavily. It's about something that I have thought I had resolved, and that is the existential burden of being alive. Dun, dun, dun. Story time. I was waiting on the metro for a friend of mine. I was waiting for her, and a wave of, oh my god, everything is so perfectly aligned. Like, we have pastry shops and coffee shops, and people have their jobs, and people create, and I create. And we have the metro, and the person I love creates. And one day everything is going to vanish. Like, not me and the person I love dying. Like, no. My creations and his creations dying, vanishing, because the planet is going to vanish one day. After many years. I want to preface this by saying that this has no conclusion. Probably no podcast of mine will ever have conclusions. This is just a thinking out loud type of episode. Closing the parentheses, I was sitting there waiting, and poof, this wave comes up, and I am feeling so not okay. Obviously, this didn't last because, grounding techniques, but this is something that I thought I had resolved because when I was younger, I mean, I'm obviously pretty young, but when I was even more younger, I used to be so okay with dying and with changing forms. I thought I was. Especially in adolescence, we create mechanisms and they protect us from unbearable things, such as enormous beauty, the burden of being alive, which is not a burden. But sometimes we people, when we are not having fun, we're like, oh yeah, thank God, if you believe in God. Thank God, I'm gonna die. One day this will all be just a distant dream of mine and I will not suffer anymore. And guess what? I used to say that. I used to say that when I was having a hard time, which is like most of my life. But right now, things have changed and I am not in a bad situation because I took myself out of that. I'll mention why in a second. But when I was younger, I used to have that theory that protected me from that huge question mark, like what's going on after we die, after I die, because I'm selfish, I'm eccentric, and I only care about myself until I am not, because right now the whole reason I'm doing this episode is because I do not only care about myself, I care about the person I love and his creations vanishing. Oh my god, I'm so dramatic. I had grown up in a pretty painful environment and I had come up with a theory, basically mine, but not at all mine, like borrowing stuff. And the reason being was that when I was a child, I had experienced grief and actual death, and I knew that because a loved one died due to a disease, and I was seeing a sick person basically, and nobody can fool nobody. We all knew that this person was gonna die. We tend to prepare ourselves before the sick person dies. This happens a lot with sick people and their caregivers. After that, and even before that, psychologists call anticipatory grief. It's like when you see a situation and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna hurt so much. And you prepare for it. You think you're preparing for it. And I used to do that. And I thought I was being successful, and this stigmatized me, you have no idea. And after the loved one dying, I used to view relationships, especially romantic ones, as okay, I'm going to lose you, either by choice, like you moving away or me moving away, or by death. And this is also metaphorical, like maybe I will be reborn into a new version of mine and I will no longer need you, but oh my god, I love you right now. This is also not metaphorical at all. You're gonna die. Statistically speaking, women, I'm straight, yeah, ugh, women tend to live longer than men, which means women tend to see their husband dying. Oh my god. Sometimes this happens because of grief. This is not something that I consciously do. It hits me like, oh my god, I love X, Y, and Z. One of them, or maybe two or three, this includes friends by the way, I'm gonna see dying, and I'm gonna have to attend their funeral or whatever ceremony they choose to go with after that. And me, I wanna be cremated. For everybody watching, like, please remember that. I have informed every one of my friends, like, me, cremated. Roger that. Because I tend to see the future. David Lynch used to say, I wear sunglasses because the future is bright. And I do not wear sunglasses, but I believe that. I do not wear sunglasses because it's midnight. It's 10 minutes past midnight. Yeah, and I'm sitting here filming, and tomorrow I have a trip, a road trip. Those images are so harsh sometimes, and those thoughts. And my life has been going pretty great, as I have mentioned, because I took care of my own life. Like, I took care of my thoughts by writing them. I took care of my body by feeding it properly, by exercising. I started to read more. I started to write more. And it's amazing. But why are we so afraid of being okay? I don't have the answer, but I have one of the multiple dots that connect the answer. One, obviously, is that we don't know how to keep it. We are afraid that if we are not okay, if we are not happy all the time, we will not be okay. But that's not realistic. Like, sometimes we crave peace because it enhances our creativity. We have so many nuances: enthusiasm, joy, pride, whatever, you name it. There are so many. We are so afraid to accept that. Like, me personally, I am so afraid to accept that, and when I stop thinking so much, this happens rarely. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I'm not having the best time, but peace right now is what I need. This can be adapted to the death situation. So, what is that theory of mine? This is not something completely new. I'm gonna talk about reincarnation in a spiritual matter. I have twisted a theory and I have made it my own. And Plato used to say that we do not need to learn things, we need to remember them. And I have taken that, I have twisted that, and I have come with a theory that we are energy and we are ascending from 1D consciousness to 2D consciousness to 3D consciousness, like right now. Why are we ascending? Because we learn the lessons that we have come to learn in the fourth. We won't have our bodies. This is something that I have heard people talk about. I'm not the first one to say that. Many civilizations have said that using other words. The message is the same. I'm gonna make a specific episode about that when I have gathered more information, because right now the only thing I can offer you is poorly constructed theories. The reason we ascend is because we learn some lessons and we travel with a family of souls. some souls that have come here to help us in a positive or in a negative matter. And here comes free will, because not everything is determined. We have free will, I believe that. But some things are destined to happen. For example, you will meet your best friend. Maybe he or she will become your enemy, or indeed your best friend if you profit your lessons. This contains a bit of OCD in there. Like, I'm not very proud of it for letting my OCD be the intruder. But I used to think that sometimes when I met a person, this has only happened twice in my life, I was like, oh my god, I think I know you. And ding dong, trauma bond. But also not. Because sometimes you feel like you just know these people. You just know their soul, and probably their beauty is shaped the way it is for you to realize, oh my god, I'm going to love that person. I love that person. And by knowing them, you understand why you love them. But the love is there. This can be so toxic. Like, please be careful with what I'm saying. I believe that astrology plays a huge role in that, in saying your difficulties, your difficult points, and your positive aspects. And when examining a chart, for example, a natal chart or a Vedic chart, you see positive aspects and negative aspects. This will be another episode. Nothing determines how your life is gonna go because you have free will. For example, I had the free will to continue my bad habits, but no, I said no, I don't want to do that for the moment being. I want to move away, face my fears, and write my thoughts. We travel with a lot of people, like our soul family. And I believe that sometimes we take different roles. For example, the person that is your best friend right now might have been your father in your previous life, or whatever combination you would like. There is a way of actually knowing, it's called accessing the Akashic records. You might ask, okay, you know that you will meet those people, then why are you afraid that everything that you create is going to vanish? Or why are you so attached to your current form? And this is such a key question. We are afraid to be well because we know that if we are well, we have to remember it, we have to cherish it, we have to protect it. And if we're not okay, then we have zero responsibility. I mean, when I wasn't okay, I was like, yeah, great, I'm gonna die. That was so awful of me. You have a life, go make the most of it. And I'm talking specifically about myself. For me, having those certain privileges that I was born with, I can say that to myself, and only to myself, please. I have noticed that beauty comes with an unbearable pain. It doesn't last long, mainly because we do not last long, but also because we are evolving so rapidly. I mean, it's so difficult to stay stagnant, and our conception of beauty actually can change rapidly. For me, I mean, for most hypersensitive people, when I'm not feeling safe, I cannot find beauty, even if what I am witnessing is very beautiful. There is guilt to that. Sometimes when I'm hugging my favorite person, I'm like, oh my god, I want to hug you forever. This is such a paradox, because why are you so attached to it? Maybe we have created all those theories because we cannot handle that we have to not be attached all the time to get by, to enjoy our life. Because if we are so attached, I mean, I'm so easily attached. We are losing our present moment, and our present moment is a gift. As Kung Fu Panda said, and many others. I mean, Gandhi said that? No, did Gandhi know English? No, probably not. But yeah, present is a gift. English linguistics is a gift also. Here I am promoting the Saussure theories. I thought I was okay with my theory, and I thought that I was okay with everything that came up to it, and I thought I was okay not knowing. But maybe grief, like witnessing grief so rapidly in my life and in such short periods of time, I have felt like I have to be anticipating it and I have to protect myself, which is not at all true. Staying hyper vigilant and actually ruining your nervous system is not the solution. And it's not bad to be attached. I mean, it's part of the human experience. My solution would be to not go to the extremes. I mean, Buddhism is a bit extreme for me, like complete non attachment. I mean, you have, for me, maybe I will change my mind in a few years or months or days, but for me right now, I feel like it's okay to be attached, but not to be too attached, not to be codependent. Because by being attached, we create bonds, and it's actually healthy to create bonds because people are sociable, and it's good to be sociable because we get to know ourselves, and it's the most interesting journey, the one of self-discovery, to actually travel. We know other people. If we consider the law of oneness, we just know ourselves better because we notice our projections and we notice our fears and we notice how irrelevant they may seem or how relevant. Sometimes validation is good. But why do I feel so attached to my body right now? Because I have created something, and because due to my well being, I have met wonderful people and I have connected with wonderful people. I mean, wonderful people were there all along, but I couldn't connect with them because I was so frozen emotionally. And when I unfroze myself by doing shadow work or journaling or you name it, I could bond better and I could feel myself being open to a hug. Yeah, that was the thing. I wasn't even open to a hug. I was hugging people and I used to describe a glass shield over my body. OCD, like preoccupied with me transferring them bad energy. And it was so bad. I don't feel that right now. And it's crazy. It only took like 2 months of journaling, intense journaling, and here I am feeling so much better. And it's actually hard, and yes, I'm harsh with myself because it only takes 1 or 2 days of not being punctual for me to think that, oh, I'm back on procrastinating. This is actually a good idea for a podcast, and I'm actually losing it. But again, this is a human experience, and sometimes I deny myself of that. And I know that in higher consciousness, in more wise way of seeing things, we are not afraid of death. And I say we because time isn't linear, and somewhere out there, a wiser, higher self of mine is actually not afraid of death. And I'm not afraid right now to admit that I was such a coward for transforming those theories and carefully crafting them in order for me to not be afraid of death, to not be afraid to have wasted my life without understanding basic happiness. Love is one of the most high frequencies one can vibrate on. Oh my god, this sounds so wrong, but this is the correct verb. It's actually another paradox because everybody is a poet when it comes to love. I believe that. It's actually not that lovely to be in love because you have to meet your shadow self, which is all those fears when you have something important or someone important. Nothing is not as human as that duality. We need love and we need fear. And I used to view those lessons as, if I don't get that right this time and if I don't completely learn from it, maybe I will be reborn with the same awful lessons. Right now, I don't fear that. I don't think that I have learned all my lessons, but I have thought that maybe we have those lessons because we cannot enjoy our life, and if we master those lessons, the reason will be because we need to learn to enjoy our life. And it's so simple yet so immaculate. We just need to learn how to deeply feel and to deeply enjoy our life. And I'm writing a book and I am reading a book. It's called The Creative Act, and it says that one does not need to seek inspiration. one just needs to be so in tune with nature that inspiration will flow effortlessly. It's so positive. Oh my god, I love that. Because if you're in tune with nature, there is no way you're not gonna be amazed. There is no way you're not gonna be amazed by your own self, also. This is why it hurts so much, because the people I love, they create stuff. Almost everyone creates stuff. One day maybe they will die, and I will die. And I hope I have created many things. I don't want to see all the things we have created. Painting a book, a bookshelf. Yeah, I have friends that create those things. I'm so thankful for my friends. I don't want to see those things being destroyed, and even if I don't see them, I don't want them to be destroyed. Maybe I'm attached, but maybe I'm just a nostalgic creature. This is what hits me the most, because creators, we anticipate to create. Create is not always pleasant. I experience a lot of torment, like, oh my god, that idea, I have to embody that idea, and I have to write that idea, I have to remember that idea, and I have to make the most of it, and sometimes it goes amazingly, and sometimes it goes wrong, and then I have to remember it, and blah blah blah. It's all like a maze, and all that effort and all that hope and all that despair, all that fear and all that happiness that comes from it, all that self-fulfillment, once will be vanished. Art is supposed to help people. The creator is not the one to actually interpret their own art. Every viewer, every listener, everyone who feels that art is going to interpret it. And this is not bad, this is actually the beauty. And a lot of people, myself included, have been helped by art. I don't want to think that one day all the help that I have offered as an artist and all the help I have received as someone who appreciates art is going to be vanished. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will have helped everyone to ascend to a higher frequency. Look at me having concluded do something positive once again. I will probably close this episode because I have to get ready. It's way past midnight and I wanted to make something creative today and I did. I am very disappointed about my first episode. Let me say that. I realized that I have to warn people for them to listen to it in double speed. Because I talk so slowly. And it's also contradictory because a lot of people have recommended to me to start a podcast, and here I am cringing myself. I will close this by saying that it's okay to love deeply, it's okay to feel things deeply, it's okay to not judge ourselves so harshly, and to embrace those feelings, because everything that has a start has an end, but energy has no start and it has no end. And maybe we will meet again, maybe not. That's the beauty of it, which makes me ache right now. But maybe in many years I will have the answers to that. Also, a little artwork that I have found for today. It's by Edward Hopper, and it's this image. I'm going to insert it more beautifully on the podcast, on the video version. It's about two people sitting and waiting, and I feel like the dog has seen what's coming. I feel like this interprets how I feel about that whole situation. Someone knowing exactly what's going to happen, and it's not someone who can talk. As in the dog, we know that they have perception of larger things and energy in general more than humans, like animals do. The colors are not so bright. There is something sure, like something is going to happen, or we are anticipating something, we are in need of something. I don't see despair here, and I want to make something like a correlation to my life with that, which is that every terrible, horrible scenario that I have ever thought has not been terrible at all. This is the truth. What we think is going to be horrible and the torment is not. I've heard that when you die, your brain releases DMT on its own. So it's like a 7-minute trip. So maybe it's not that bad. But maybe it is. I would have liked my loved one with me. And I wouldn't need to leave my loved one. But yeah, some higher power knows better than us. And I'll leave you to that.